Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan. Once again, and today we're going to be talking about Ahsoka episode 3. I saw it when it came out, and overall, I thought this was a good episode. In the sense that it felt like Star Wars. It was really nice. I liked that aspect of it. However, in terms of characters, I'm still not really all that interested. I just don't care about the Rebels characters at all. I didn't connect with them when I was a kid, when I was watching the show. And then I never went back to finish the show after season 1. So I just don't really have an attachment to them, nor am I looking for an attachment for them or to them. So a lot of the stuff that happens here that is important to Rebels characters just doesn't really matter to me. However, I do like Ahsoka and Huyang and their interactions, right? So let me kind of talk about it a little bit more kind of in order, right? So I'm still unsure about my feelings about this episode, basically because it feels so classic in its vibe. It has all of the elements that I want, right? It has a space battle. It has a cool alien life form that lives in space. It has someone with lightsabers. It has a ridiculous droid with an attitude. It has cool space things and ships that are ridiculous in size and scale. And it has a little bit of like that kind of pseudo-religiousness that comes with being a Jedi. It also has a lot of Orientalism, and it just looks nice and interesting and cool, right? But like I said, I just don't care about Sabine. And I really don't like how both her and Ahsoka are basically stoic characters. And as far as my understanding of these characters is, Sabine is a rebel of rebels. Like, she is like an emotional character. Whereas Ahsoka was an emotional character, went through a lot of shit in her life, and then now is kind of at peace. But her peace feels almost put on. Like, it doesn't feel real. It feels way too serene for the type of person that we know her to be. Now, I left a comment on a Thor Skywalker video, and someone told me, yeah, she's been through shit. She's gonna be calm as hell now because that is the way that she handled it. But that isn't the problem. The problem is that for many years, most of my formative years, Ahsoka was an impulsive, strong, ridiculously, expressive character. Yes, she goes through shit. Yes, she becomes quieter as she grows because everyone does that. But we never get to see her childishness, the way that she was as a young woman, show through anymore. And especially not in these 3 episodes where she's constantly, basically emotionless. I love how she looks. I love the way that she's being portrayed because it's being well done, but I don't like the character aspect being so stoic. I don't like the personality being so stoic, and I hope that Ahsoka can loosen up. Maybe there is some catharsis that needs to happen before Ahsoka can find a middle ground between her stoicism and her young, impulsive personality, right? So that's kind of my feelings about that. And also, since I don't care about one half of the exchange most of this episode, it's hard to connect with the characters. I like all the other stuff, I just don't like the characters, which kind of is difficult to kind of parse, right? So I wrote here when I initially watched this that I was a bit bored. And I went and watched the episode again, and I'm not bored. I'm just not interested in Sabine. And I said that a lot this review, but it is true, and I want to hammer that home because it is important to know that if you're going to listen to my review and try to talk to me about it, right? So, yeah. However, like I said, the rest of the episode was wonderful. I love the ship battle. I like the Shin Hati character. I think she's interesting. Yes, she's also kind of a stoic character, but she has like a crazy vibe to her that I like. I dig it. Her interaction with the people that she was leading was good because it shows that she doesn't care about them. And also her interactions with Marok and with Elsbeth shows that she doesn't really find herself to be lower than them. She's kind of like in the same level socially or culturally or whatever you want to call it with them. And there's almost a kind of antagonistic vibe between them that I think is going to be pretty good to see play out throughout the story, right? So, yeah. And overall, I just like all of the established Star Wars tropes and going over them. I like that. However, I do want to mention a few things. First of all, Ahsoka being out in space wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. However, they close in, they do a shot where they zoom in onto her boots, but her boots aren't magnetic. Like, they just look like tennis shoes. And so if that's the case, if you're gonna zoom into her, why don't you give them the magnetic sound that, you know, has been used in other Star Wars stuff? I think specifically in Clone Wars, when the clone troopers go out into space, they wear magnetic boots, and you hear this like zing sound when their boots touch metal, right? Or this clang sound. And I think that would have been nice to add, but there's also a little bit of an inconsistency here, which is sometimes she can move and land on the ship again, and other times she's floating. And that's not good, because, like, I understand that George Lucas never treated space like space, but it's about consistency. Space can be like space sometimes, and it can be not space sometimes, but you have to be consistent scene to scene, making it be one or the other, right? And the problem was that in this short segment of the story, it acted both like space and air, and it can't work like that, right? So I don't know, it was kind of confusing. Also, the fact that they gave her the suit with the mask works great. I'm very happy about that. It's a nice thing. It removes some issues that I had with like Leia later on, but also because it's live action, you're more willing, or you're more likely to have issues with stuff. And I had an issue with the fact that there's no way that she could put that helmet on by herself, because it goes under her leku, over the other side, and onto her face. How does that fit? If it was more of a carapace, where like how do I explain this? Like, her leku go into her shirt, and then she has like a hood that comes up. Like, that might have been better, and she has to deal with the discomfort of having like her back leku tied to her neck, basically. That would have been good, but the way it looks like they made a special sack just for her leku, and that's kind of weird. But mostly it's because it's a live action thing. In a animated show, I would have not noticed this. I would have not cared. But because it's live action, it is noticeable, and it is kind of odd looking, right? So yeah, overall, good episode. I liked it, especially on the rewatch. I didn't love it so much when I first watched it. I would give it like a 7, or yeah, like a 7 out of 10 is good. Where I usually think of 5 as like middling. 10 is perfect. 7 would be like not that bad. Like, it's good. And I think that might be my favorite episode so far. So yeah, I don't know if that lines up with what I said last time, but currently while I'm recording this, it does feel like my favorite episode, and it could definitely be recency bias. So there you go. Let me know what you guys thought. What do you guys think about Ahsoka so far? Thank you guys very much for watching, and see you guys later.